Good afternoon and welcome to Titan Talk. Hey guys, we got Lieutenant Coop and we got our Captain McFarland. I am less screwing that up now.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
Isn't it the C?
Unless it's R.
Oh, okay. Um, he's
It's a bad one.
it is.
Not as bad as yours, but it's bad.
Mine are pretty bad. Threw me off right at the start there.
Well, you're supposed
Thanks.
to say R, and then I say unless it's the C.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was third.
threw me a curveball.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. It is Monday afternoon. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I got to visit a friend's new home that they purchased, and it was
That was
a
fun.
fun event. So we wanted to say thanks for inviting us. If you do watch the podcast, if you stop by the podcast while you're so busy today, if you stop by, thanks for letting us all trash your house a little.
Hospitality was wonderful.
So we appreciate everybody joining us today. We hope everybody had a good weekend, and we're going to give you a few updates, as you saw in the title. We got some updates for jackets, 401k, and some of our benefit stuff that's going on. So we wanted to give you guys some updates on that, and then just kind of, like always, BS at the end of it with you guys, and give you a chance to make fun of us and us a chance to make fun of you guys. So
There you go.
Diego, thanks for joining us. I'm not saying your name. Thank you as well. Howdy. So we appreciate you guys coming out, joining us today. Guys, don't forget, always say hi so that way at least I can try and say hi to everybody. Perfect time before you go to the gym. Yeah, see? We try to do that. We're on time today. Hey, that's
Yep.
another good one. We were on the mark on time today. So if Chief, if you're watching, welcome.
We have to adhere to a schedule. Adhere to a schedule.
LJ, thanks for joining us. Yes, we are on time. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm glad you know I'm talking to you. I'm not going to say it. And yes, it is funny. But no, so we just want to say thanks, guys, and we appreciate everybody joining us. So some of the updates that we're going to kind of just dive into this are jackets. We got our first order, our first shipment, I should say, of jackets in. Patches are on; they're all good. We have started working on which ones who they're going out to. So if you don't have a jacket, email April and let her know. One thing,
I think it's records. Is what she wants.
is it records?
Usually, I'm not exactly sure, but she monitors that one. So, but yeah, and so we want to preface this a little bit. If you do not work outside,
So
while we're getting,
let's clarify that a little bit more. It's not the fact that if you don't work outside, if your post is not stationed a majority of your shift outside. So what we mean
for now.
Once our second order comes in, we'll start giving out more of them. But
Right.
what we're really kind of focusing down on right now are the officers that are out in the elements. I'd say 80% or more of your shift. If you're going out for a foot patrol and it takes you 10 minutes, then but 99% of your time is inside the location you're at, then we will get you a jacket. But this first group of jackets are going out to the officers that are outside 80% or more of their shift,
Right.
because they are more uncomfortable than anybody else with the weather right now. So that's what we're working on.
Keep that in mind when
Beatty, you're on drill. You don't you don't get a. This is not like this patrol.
Yeah. No. And most patrol guys know how to layer up and stuff. And so I hope if you do have to do that, once every couple hours, exterior foot patrol or something, make sure that you at least bundle up for that. We don't want people getting sick. And it's not that you're not going to get one, but like he said, we just had a short installment or a small installment that for this short period here, we're going to have just the outdoor guys jacketed up. But then we're going to get the rest of them out to you guys. So please be patient. I feel like we say that a lot.
Well, the funny thing is like anybody who's been here for any extent amount of time and who has been through at least one winter with us knows that, especially for me, because normally I'm the one doing all the uniform ordering and stuff like that. Jackets have always been a nightmare for me, and the reason is normally, or with the jackets we used to use, are special to us in law enforcement and security. They're built they're expensive and they're hard to come by, and law enforcement uses them. Almost every security company uses them. And so they're very hard to get. And so
Short supply.
when I could get them, I could only get them 20 at a time. So it was very difficult. The jackets we are now using are still designed for what we do. We can get them in bigger quantities. So right now we're worrying about everyone who is out in the elements more. And then as soon as they're taken care of, everybody else who doesn't have one will get one.
Yep. So if you're one of those guys that's out in the elements that we haven't already addressed, please send that email so
Yes.
we can get you on the books to get either come pick it up, or if I'm able, and this is a big if I'm able to have one of my guys bring them out to you, we will. if you're unable to make it up here during business hours. So some people's schedule doesn't allow that. So I will make accommodations for those guys. But if you're able to get
To the
up here and
best of
pick
our
it up,
ability.
make an appointment. Don't just show up. There's not always we're running a million miles an hour here in different directions, so we can't always guarantee. And I do that not to be mean, but I do that so we're not wasting your time. You could be waiting an hour, hour and a half up front, for just to say, hey, I'm here for a jacket, which takes 30 seconds to get you to sign the paper and you're on your way. We don't want to waste your time. So just understand that we're not doing it on purpose. We're not sitting up here just saying, hey, should we go get him now? Let's wait. No. It's because we're gas pedal to the floor pretty much all the time. Unless you're driving one of our patrol cars and you abide by all
By all traffic
local
laws.
laws.
Beatty says I'm mean. 100% Beatty, you knew this going into this.
He just popped up out of nowhere.
Well, he does so far every show, and I'm happy with it. Billy, we'll see. I'm not sure if we want to get you a coat. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So the next update is going to be with benefits. HR wanted us to put out there that we got such a start to benefits as so many people hooked up and started going into it and getting all that stuff taken care of, but there were still a ton of people that had questions. That the positive response to the benefits was so good that they decided to extend the open enrollment until the end of this week. So if you had questions that you were talking to HR and you were worried you weren't going to make it in time, that has been um, updated,
The window's a
and
little
so the
wider.
window's a little bit bigger now. Believe it or not, so Billy says wholly expensive benefits. Our benefits, actually, considering where they used to be, are not nearly as expensive.
They went
Um,
down.
but it's gone down every time because this is the third reiteration of
Cheaper and more coverage.
yeah, this is the third reiteration of our benefits that we've gone through, and I've had all three of them. And the first version was extremely cheap. It had poor coverage. It was something to get the. I don't know if I can say this, but it was something to keep you from getting in trouble with
Yeah.
the law. And it worked for that, but outside of that, it was kind of unless you paid a ridiculous amount of money for it every paycheck, it was kind of average. The second iteration that we just had before what they're doing now was actually way better. It was still kind of expensive. The coverage was loads better than what it was, but it was still kind of shoddy because it only worked within a certain area. This coverage that we have now is much cheaper than what it used to be, and it widened out where the coverage goes and what comes with it. So it is probably not the cheapest that you can find, but coverage wise and stuff like that, it is still well worth the money that it is.
It's an improvement, and that's what we're going to try to continue to do. I'm sure in a couple of years they'll go over it again, and we'll shop around and see what we can do. I mean, again, Kyle was really aggressive in trying to get you
Yes.
guys the best benefits for the budget as we could. So take advantage of it if you can. If you got other benefits, that's great. Use those. But that window is now open till the end of this week.
Yep.
HR is still taking emails and questions about that. Please don't call, just email. Unless it's an emergency, obviously. But other
Bobby,
than
thanks for
that,
joining us, man. Well, good to see you here.
the other update is 401k. I think you know more about that than I do.
So so there's I don't know all of the great details in it. I'm still waiting to get some of the final details that I need so I can give you guys the best information on it. But what I do know on that is the 401k starts in January and it will be open enrollment ever. There'll be no cutoff date like there is with the benefits package, but it will be available to people who have been employed for 90 days or longer. So if you've been with the company for longer than 90 days, excuse me, in January, I believe. I don't know the exact date it's going to go out. And as soon as I know that, we'll update you guys on that as well. But it will include everybody on that. So anybody who's been here longer than 90 days, you'll be able to sign up for that and get that taken care of as well. And if you've never had a 401k or you don't know what a 401k is, 401ks are great because that is your retirement. That is it is an amazing thing to be able to have in the job field. Law enforcement, I still think that unions and my dad was union for 38, almost 39 years. I think maybe a little over. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
those pensions are usually pretty nice.
unions and law enforcement benefit or 401ks are almost always the best ones that you can get across. Ours doesn't stack and it never will to those just because of the stuff that they are allotted. But for a civilian 401k, from what I've seen, it's a pretty good one, and that's pretty hard to come by unless you're in a company that is nationwide. And so that's
Yeah.
always nice to see.
If you're a career guy, you definitely want to take
Yes.
advantage of that. And again, HR will be able to help you with questions and stuff via email. And I'm sure you'll probably see some stuff coming out. I'm pretty
I
sure they
know they
already
sent
sent
out
some
one
stuff. Yeah.
email for it last week in the beginning of the week. I think they sent out a little blast about it, and there'll be more to come from them as well on that. I don't know when their updates are, but when I have all the updated information, or when Captain McFarland gets all the updated information, we'll make sure that we get it out to you guys so you guys have that here as well. So, so you guys have that. Billy, to answer your question, when it comes to the rental gear, that is correct. As long as you are using the rental gear going forward, and this changed a year or 2 years ago, as long as you're on the rental program and you're using the gear, the rental fees will always apply. And the reason being is that pays for any future damage to the gear and replacement of the gear. So that was extended quite a bit longer than that, but that has been updated as well. So let's
The
see.
other thing is,
Yes, they extended open enrollment until the end of the week. So you have until Friday to
I
get
don't
it
know
out
what
taken care
time
of.
Friday, but
I think it's into business.
take care of it sooner than later. So
Yes.
just don't procrastinate like I have a tendency to do things.
Will also say HR is still answering any questions you guys have. So don't forget, if you do have a question, you're welcome to reach out to them and they'll get you all squared away on that stuff. So they have been extremely accommodating when it comes to that stuff. I had a question about our benefits because I wasn't sure. Some of the verbiage and names changed on what some of the stuff was, and I'm not the greatest at that stuff. Never have been. So I had to call on a favor and be like, "Hey, I feel like a dumbass. Can you help me out here?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got you all set," and they walked me through what everything was. So we were all good on that.
Another thing is PTO, everybody's
Yes, PTO is
favorite
a big
three
one.
letters. You will start developing PTO for 90 days. So in the past, it was a year, and it was a pretty slow trickle. I know they like the amount you get, and so you'll see that on your. I think it's the pay stubs will show it, right?
Yes. So and
So
if you look at your pay stubs on the far right on the bottom of that, or kind of middle of the page, actually, is where you should see your PTO.
I've never even seen it on one of my pay stubs. So I don't. It just goes to my account, and I
I
go,
look at
"Hey,
it. I look at it all. I
I
look
hope
at every
HR took
paycheck.
care of me." But I've been salaried for so long now, so it's I just
I
know.
still
But
I've been salary for years now, and I still double check it. I don't know why, but it's just ever since I was
smart, you
hourly.
should.
Ever
You
since I
should.
was hourly, my first job screwed me on that stuff. So ever since then, I've just always
Yeah,
double
once you
checked my
get
stuff.
burned, yeah, for sure. And well, and, don't mess with people's money. But so yeah, you'll be able to take advantage of that. We want people to use it. Those of you, I don't think there's very many. We talked about this in a meeting earlier. Those of you that have PTO that aren't salaried or supervisors that kind of intermingle with this core group here, so you would have heard word of mouth wise. At the end of the year, you will be paid out for your PTO that is under or over 40.
Anything over 40. So if you're at 32 hours, you won't get paid out anything because you're below that line. Say you've got 56 hours, what will happen is they will sell you they'll sell back
Your PTO.
not 16, they'll sell it just over 16 from what you accrue, and then your whatever your accrual will bring you back up to 40. So you will start the year off if you're over 40 at 40, and then you'll get a separate paycheck for your additional PTO hours that's being paid out to you.
Yeah, well, I think they put it all in one, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
You're getting paid one way or another.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if it'll be a separate check. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a separate check. It'll be a separate line item more than likely, is what I should have said.
yeah, I imagine that, and most of our PTO guys that have been here long enough probably have direct deposits, so they don't have
Yes.
to get their checks all the time. So you may see two different deposits into the account. Not a bad little Christmas gift, I guess. And
Good
so
Christmas money.
for next year, the reason being that they're doing it this year is because it wouldn't be fair just to rob everybody's PTO and say, "Hey, I have like over 100 hours, so and there's no way I could take all that off and still."
I know he took a week off and I about killed him when he got back.
So,
Vice versa to me.
right, yeah, we it's unfortunate, but we're working at getting better at it. So, we can take time off.
We are. Oh, okay. Right.
Bosses are watching, so we got.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally working on it. Yeah.
We're gonna try and take more time off. But so the reason being is we want that good work life balance. And it's important you guys do it too, especially you guys that are more active out there, running around, dealing with crazy stuff all day. It's good to unplug and do that like we talked about before in past podcasts or shows. Do a little maintenance, routine maintenance, change that oil, if you will, to steal Leon's analogy, because it's a really good one. I mean, it's just important to get that.
Basic maintenance.
Yeah. So you want to be able to take that time off. And so that's why they are The reason for that is because if you have a bunch of PTO at the end of the year, you didn't take any time off. So what they're trying to do is encourage you to take it because it won't
The only thing that will
recycle
the
back in like it normally
only thing
does.
that will recycle every year is 40 hours. Everything outside of that. So if you end the year next year, 2024, you end the year at 80 hours of PTO.
40 of it's just
What will happen in January is 40 of it will just go missing and gone forever. And you only have 40 left. So you'll only ever be left with 40 because they're trying to encourage guys like here
yep.
to take the vacation because I don't do that. So they're trying to it helps encourage that stuff. Billy, to answer your statement a little bit back, sorry about that. You were told it was a year. That was a long time ago. Since some of the things have changed, and since the way Duty Gear works, we've noticed that it doesn't work, and we wind up having to change out gear, and it's a loss. So to keep from doing that, a little installment helps keep that for the life of you using the gear. It will always be replaceable at no cost to yourself. So
And it's good to, when you can, take a little bit each out of your paycheck and go buy, belt,
I'll
or
be
belt.
100% honest. The rental program wasn't an option when I started. We had to buy all our own gear, and I spent like $1,600 on my first paycheck. We also did payroll deduct, which I'm glad we don't do anymore because I got in a ton of trouble with it. I wound up not having a check for like 3 months because I went above and beyond. I was like, I'm gonna get all my stuff, and so it's a good thing but a bad thing at the same time. So I'm glad we don't do it anymore because you can get in a lot of trouble with yourself doing it. But at the same time, I'm glad the rental program exists because if you don't have the money to get it, we can get you that, and then like he says, over time, save up a little bit here and there,
And
and then
chip
start
away at it.
replacing it.
Just chip away at it, and
Do
then
it one thing at a time.
yeah, start small, work your way up.
Yeah.
That way, you can leave the big ticket items for the end, so you can save more, and you have more of your gear, and that's just nice to have your own personal stuff
Yeah.
too. So
Diego, yes, it should also be on eHub for all of that PTO and all that stuff should show on your eHub. We have one of them. I'm not going to say your name. It's funny though. So Titan drinking game going forward, we take a shot anytime Coop, McFarland, Roses, or Leon say we're going to get you squared away.
about phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Billy says that everybody would be too intoxicated.
Yeah.
We do that.
Squared away is just, it's easy. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows, yeah.
Hey, that guy's squared away. Hey, make sure we get this guy squared away. I just now realized we say that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, no, they'd be anybody watching that was doing that at home would by the end of the 40 minutes that we do this, they'd be gone. Let's see. If we have under 40 hours, will it roll over? Yes. So anything under 40 hours will roll over automatically. It's anything over 40, you will lose. And so you only have the 40 at the beginning of the new year. So
Next
if you're
year.
under 40, all of that rolls over. You don't lose anything.
Yeah, next year. This year, you'll get paid for whatever you have over that 40.
Yes.
So actually, I think it's over 30. Well,
No, it's 40.
yeah,
Because what happens is the way they explained it to me, the way it breaks down. Hey, Devin, thanks for joining us. So say you have like just to put it out there, I've got 120 just over. And so what's going to happen is 80 hours or 80
whatever the math is.
86 hours is going to be sold back to me
Yeah.
at the end of the year, and then whatever I accrue is going to bump me back up to 40.
Right.
So that full 40 is still there, but they've sold just over it because of that way the way
That's what I'm saying. Because the next paycheck coming
Yeah.
out, you'll have another
you
6
accrue something,
hours
so
or
they want to
whatever,
make sure it's equal to 40 at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
And we accrue a little more just because
I've been here a decade.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
It's rank structure too.
Some of it, yeah. Let's see. Gary, thanks for joining us as well. See, Diego, and that's the thing is we got a lot of people that are on the rental program because if we didn't have that, some of them wouldn't be able to get a job here.
Yeah.
I'll say right now, I think it was $16 or $17 I spent when I first got hired on here was probably the biggest fight I had when I got home. My fiance at the time, I walked in and I was like, "Hey," and I walked in with $1,600 worth of gear. She goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I bought this," and she looked at me and I thought she was going to kill me.
Yeah.
And she goes, "We can't afford that." I had just moved here. We'd been here, I think, 3 months. We were still getting bills and stuff transferred over. I had my house in New Mexico that I was trying to sell, and so I didn't have anybody in that. So I'm paying that rent, that mortgage. And she just looked at me and she goes, "You were trying to kill us." And I was like, "No, no, no. I'm going to work a bunch of extra hours. I'm going to get it taken care of." And she just kind of like stared at me, and I was like, "I'm going to sleep on the couch tonight." But the rental program was probably one of the best things that I think we did because it opens the door for so many people who can't afford that gear right off the bat.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
be able to do it.
The only thing that we really require new hire to furnish themselves
Boots.
boots and a flashlight.
no pad and pen.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, that's like $3 and $1.20. So
yeah, you can get a $10 flashlight to get you by. So.
yeah,
And GT's always got sales for boots.
always. And they've
I
got
recommend investing
good
in good
boots.
ones.
That's the thing about
They've got
GT.
some $40 or $50 boots over
Not sponsored. Wish we were.
there. Yeah.
GT has their boot specials that they do have. I bought 2 pairs of boots from them, and both of them were on special. And one of them I'm wearing now, and it still survives.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been
Take care of your feet. Gotta take care of your feet.
see, I was living paycheck to paycheck, working as a butcher before I came here, and that's the thing. Dude, that sometimes when that stuff goes by, when you get that opportunity to work for us and stuff like that, if it is, you don't expect to be able to, you walk in, you're like, okay, cool, this is going to be a good start, it's going to be a good job, good pay, and then you find out that you need a full duty belt, you need an outer carrier, or you need plates and all this other stuff, and you just all of a sudden you're like, I can't start this job. There's no way I can afford all that. And then you look and you're like, oh, hey, for a small monthly cost, I can borrow all of the gear
Right.
until I can afford my own. I would do it. I would if it was an option when I got hired, I would have done that before I bought my own gear.
Oh, for sure.
Probably after the first 2 years, I would have had my own gear by the end of it. But I mean, if it was an option when I got started, when I started, we didn't even offer rental guns. Like if you didn't have your own firearm, you weren't going to be an armed
Right.
officer. It wasn't even an
I
option.
don't know very many other companies that do rentals for that.
There's a
so.
couple of them, but the way they don't rent it's not a rental. It's a full blown uh it's like law enforcement.
Yeah.
It's not a rental, but you don't own the gun and you got to check the gun in. You have to for you to use it, you have to go to the office, check it
Yeah, I've heard
out,
about those.
and then check it
Yeah,
back
so
in at the end
they
of the day.
keep them at
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. And
office.
so it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Let's see. If you replace company gear with personal over time when you turned it in the last piece, wouldn't that end the rental payments? Yes. So if you're renting gear, and so the big thing with that to understand is with the gear rental, it's not done piece by piece, it's done by a group. So it's everything together. So you can't bring back the flashlight holder or the cuff cases, and
Yep.
then your price goes down a little bit.
All
You
for
got to
one for all.
Exactly. You got to bring it all back in at once. When you bring that in and replace your gear, the payments will usually stop on the closest pay period ending. So if that means that the pay period is you're halfway through the pay period and you turn it in, you still got it halfway through, so you're still going to get that charge, but the next one you won't have it.
But sneeze and I can't. I hate that feeling. It's something bright to look at.
Oh, it's great to watch it on the camera.
I hate that.
But yeah, so that's how that should work. Usually, it's within the next pay period is when that payment stuff should end. If you're running into an issue that you've turned all your gear in and you've still got the payments, email me and let me know, and we'll start looking into that to get that solved because that's
We'll take care of it too.
yeah.
So
But other than that, let's see. Amazon is a good place for duty gear. You got to be careful with that discount prices and
yes, be careful.
be very careful with Amazon. They sell some gear. So I'm an avid, but I airsoft inside of this, and I buy my airsoft stuff off of Amazon because it's all cheap. Problem with that is when you're getting into duty gear and good duty gear, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
I have a leather duty belt that I paid like $140 for, and I've had it for the past 6 years now, and it's lasted the entire time. There's no extra fraying on it. There's no nothing. Like, it has lasted and like it is keep going. You got to be very careful what you buy on Amazon because it's sometimes you buy something and it's extremely cheap. You're like, oh, I can get this duty belt for $40. It's not going to be good. It's not
It's a
gonna be
$40 duty belt.
Yeah, it's not going to be double stitched. It's going to be put together badly, and so you got to be
Yeah.
very careful with that stuff.
Always ask us about that stuff too. We've talked about this in other podcasts as well. Is we've probably tried it. If it's something that you're going to try, whether it's cutting a corner here or there, and we'll tell you some places you can do that when it comes to equipment, but there's a lot of places you can't.
Mhm.
And I understand. I'm cheap, so I'm the same
That's an
way.
understatement.
I'm the same way, and so, but I also the reason I'm cheap is because I spend a lot of money on things that are important to me, like my gear, stuff like housing, stuff like that. So, make sure that
He's so cheap. He waited for a TV he wanted to go on sale before he started hounding his wife for a Christmas gift.
Yep, she ended up buying me one.
Yeah, yeah.
Big old 75-incher. Can't wait. It's on the 10th. But so yeah, just make sure that you're doing your homework on that stuff. So just be careful, like you said, with Amazon. Again, I've said this like 20 times on the show. I like to go to the store and touch it and be like, okay, this
Yes.
feels durable.
Specifically for gear.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and so even more so for gear. If you're buying, my brother-in-law orders like his trash bags and like toilet paper and stuff
Whatever.
through Amazon.
Yeah,
That's one thing.
That's one thing.
But if you're going to, something that could potentially save your life or the life of others or whatever, you want to make sure it's reliable. So,
Let's see. Devin, you have to email me first for that. I
Devin,
don't email you. I won't email you guys first. You got to email me first. You email me and we'll get you squared away, man.
that's
Let's
a
see.
drink.
Huh?
That's a drink.
Yeah, it is.
Right away.
Those you playing at home, that's a drink.
Yes, it's not a duty.
Do not play on duty. Let's see. Gary said all my gear came from Amazon. Guess you got lucky. That's the thing, dude. Sometimes you can get really lucky. Like I'll be honest,
That's some
dude.
dice I'm not trying to read.
I'll be honest, dude. I bought a ton, not a ton, but I have a secondary duty belt that I use for airsoft. I have that I have bought pouches for it and stuff for like mag holders and stuff. And it all seemed like really good gear, but the more I inspect it, it's like, okay, this is gonna last for the little use I do for airsoft. But if I was gonna be doing it professionally or any more than I currently use it, then it's like I would probably go invest in an actual duty belt and an actual thing like that. I don't play that enough to consider buying the expensive stuff. But you got to be careful because you can get extremely lucky on it, and then you can not get extremely lucky on the
Yeah.
next one.
There was something I bought or my wife got a while back.
Ooh,
Oh,
here's a good one. Here's a good one. Devin says, question: what do you and McFarland typically carry as extra equipment, multi tools, knives? So here's the thing: we don't. I've said this forever and ever and ever. We don't carry knives.
No.
We carry their utility tools. Um, you're not allowed to carry a knife on duty. It goes against the codes of conduct for both law enforcement and for the security guides. Now, here's the thing: does everybody carry something like that? Probably. I'm never going to openly admit it. I carry a multi tool.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
looking at the camera. We carry multi tools.
Multipass.
But stuff like that I would say extra. A big thing that I recommend. I have a little bit of training behind medical stuff for tourniquets. I always recommend a tourniquet. If you don't carry it on you, carry it in a bag. My duty bag that I have has 3 tourniquets in it because I am over precautious. Um, but at the same time, if you're going to carry a tourniquet or you're going to carry something like that in a bag or
Make sure you know what you're
on your
doing.
person, make sure you know how it is used. I always recommend getting a CPR course that has that into it, so that way you have some basic training on it because it is extremely useful.
Yeah.
As
Save your
for
life.
other things that aren't duty related, like that we would normally use on our job, there's not a whole lot that I carry that's not.
I got enough crap to lug around.
Yeah, like I don't.
I really like you said. I carry a multi tool and
Utility tool.
utility tool. I'm trying to think if there's anything. That's
Let's
it.
say really, there's so much stuff that we got to carry with an outer vest and all that extra weight. I mean, you got to remember we're carrying 40, 50, 40, 45 pounds.
It's like 25.
Is it?
Yours might have more. Mine's about 25.
Mine's probably about 25 or 30
It
pounds
feels like
additional.
50 some
Yeah.
days.
But we're carrying so much extra stuff that it's not worth it for me to carry a bunch of stuff that
Yeah.
I'm almost never going to use, which is why the tourniquets I have are in my duty bag
Yeah.
instead of on me.
Yeah, I say the only other thing I could think of, but it's pretty basic and it's actually kind of part of the uniform, is I carry some latex gloves
Yes.
in case somebody decides to
I
have
do
a
not
bodily
cheap out on.
movement.
I do not cheap out on my latex gloves.
No, yeah, make sure you get the good ones.
The ones that I
Puncture
have
proof.
are the puncture proof and they're textured on the fingers, so it adds some grip to it. Because if you don't have the textured ones, man, I'll tell you what, it
Yeah.
gets real. Like it's hard to hang on
Slippery.
to something.
Yeah, and then I have another pair of they were just like $20. They're not like
No, I'm thinking
$80 511 gloves, but I've just got some
I cheaped out.
black
I
like
went out and bought those gloves. And I say mechanic on it and everything. Went out and bought mechanic gloves from AutoZone or O'Reilly's.
mine are like $20.
Yeah, they're like
I got the same-
$25.
I got the
Best
same
thing
pair.
for gloves like that because I don't expect to put on big old winter gloves and stuff like that. My hands, I know my hands.
Especially
are
if
gonna be
you're
a little
armed,
cold.
you could cause malfunctions in your firearms.
Let's see. We've got for duty gear. I recommend 511, Safari Blue Forest. Yeah, those are all brands that I would recommend as well.
Yeah.
Good place to buy new gear. Surplus stores are even better. Specialized websites that sell professional gear for LE and similar businesses.
Yep.
Halls
stores are good.
GT again, not sponsored. Kind of wish we were, because we're repping them all out now.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, guys, that the Titan store is also a supply store. So if there's any specific gear you're looking for, you guys are welcome to email me, and if I can find it, and I can find it for a relatively nice price, I will let you know. Please do not inundate me with a list of like 100 items that you're looking for.
Make an appointment for that as well.
Yeah.
I don't want you stuck here at the office.
Let's see. Make sure you get training for medical. Yep, anything like that. Amazon could be good for low priority gear, admin pouches, flashlight holder.
Sure.
Exactly.
Just be careful. That's what I was going to say. That reminds me. We got Eli a dog toy one year off Amazon, and I didn't really read the fine print, but he's a big dog, so we like to give him big toys. It was a like a platypus looking, or like a goose looking thing. It was this big.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was like $8.99. So I was like, all right, that's like normally what they run, maybe $10. So I thought
That's
it was like a
disappointing.
normal, foot long one. It was like this big. I showed it to him. He's like, "It's like, so funny, yeah.
Really, man? This is what you're getting me?
Yeah.
Let's see. Gary, yes, Titan does offer a CPR/first aid class. If you guys are interested in that, you need to reach out to Sergeant Bus. He's the one who sets all that stuff up, but we do offer that class as well. Titan pays for it, so you guys don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for it. We supply it, we pay for it, and generally he does it here at the office as well.
Yep.
But you can, if you don't have Sergeant Bus's email or you don't know how to reach out to him, reach out to myself or Captain McFarland, and we'll help put you in touch with him. We do offer the CPR classes as well. Let's see.
Mine's right
Carry
here.
gloves in my leg pocket. Yep. I carry about 6 pairs, and those are in my well, they used to be in my leg pocket, but those are now on my vest. So, and that's kind of how I move that stuff around there. But yeah, those are all good things to carry. Everything good?
Yeah, I forgot something. Sorry,
Okay.
I got to do it before
So
I
I'll
forget.
entertain you guys while you're
Sorry.
busy.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I mean, that's all stuff. Admin pouches are good. When it comes to an admin pouch, I actually had a bunch of questions on this probably, I don't know, 3 weeks ago for an admin pouch. I had an officer bring me one. I'm not going to mention any names. If you're watching the podcast, I'm not going to call you out, although I think it's funny and I should, because we all laughed at it and you laughed too. He brought a admin pouch that goes that he had stacked up on the top of his vest, and when he opened it, it opened up into a table. It wasn't like a super cool table, but it was like it had little drop downs, and so it held itself up like this, and it was funny. And I got the premise behind it, but I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Be realistic.
So when you're thinking about an admin pouch, think about something that hold 2 or 3 pens, a handcuff key, your phone, and a notebook, and then something like that. It just little pouch, yay big.
Yeah.
It goes right there on the front of your
It
vest.
shouldn't look like a backpack hanging
Yeah.
off your vest.
So I mean, we laughed at it, and he giggled, and I was like, "No." I was like, "That's funny," and I was like, "There's no way that opens into a table." And sure enough, he opened it up, and it sat there. I was like, no, no." So
I fake sneezed again. That hurt.
you gotta quit doing that. So Devin, I think I just answered your question there. But
Speaking of
outside of
Devin, I'll
that,
be reaching out to you later. I got something to run by you.
no,
It's good news.
stay away from
Devin, it's good news.
No, he's mine. Actually, no, he's yours now.
You guys are all
on
mine.
on that note, for you guys, I have officially transferred into my scheduling manager role. So,
Congratulations.
as of today, I am a lieutenant in name only, and I am now the scheduling manager. So just so you guys know that if you reach out to me, if it's job related or anything like that, I will be forwarding it to Lieutenant. I'm sorry, I did it again. Captain
Lieutenant
McFarland.
Brown, Lieutenant Shaughnessy, or
Yeah.
Captain McFarland.
Yeah. Let's see.
Vice versa, scheduling stuff. It's something I can handle the day to day. I'll take care of it. But if you need some
Long-term
long-term stuff,
stuff.
reach out to him. That's his specialty, and he's going to be able to help you. And it's just going to save me from having to just forward it to him. So
Yeah, Diego, that's a good question. What do you prefer to have on your vest, and what do you like to keep on your belt? So on my belt, I keep the bare and the essentials.
gun and cuffs.
So it's going to be my firearm, my handcuffs, and then
That's all I carry.
I'm trying to think of mine, and that's it actually. Yeah,
Just takes the
And
weight off of
then
you.
on my vest, I carry my radio, my admin pouch, a flashlight, an extra flashlight. I keep a flashlight on my belt too. I keep my primary flashlight on my belt, and then I keep my secondary on my vest, and then I have my mag holders on there as well. All of my trauma stuff, McAllister, all of mine sits in in my duty bag. Let's see. McFarland was the one to reach out to me when I was a homeless vagabond. Vagabond? Did I say that?
Is that yeah? Is that true?
I don't know. Devin? If that is it true? Like you're gonna like bring a tear to his eye. If it's true.
Well,
Thanks, Lavi. I appreciate it. Lieutenant Brown usually answers the phone in the afternoons. Correct. He works the evenings generally from 4 to midnight. Depending on how the day is going, we might call him in early periodically. And the same with Lieutenant Shaughnessy. They both generally work in the afternoons unless we need them in earlier. Then we'll call them in earlier. I actually think Lieutenant Brown is shorter than me.
It might be.
I'm not 100% sure.
We'll have to have a.
I think he's a little shorter than me. We may be proud of that fact. And be
Yeah,
like,
you guys are probably
shortest.
pretty close.
I don't think we're far off. I don't think it's by much.
Is April taller than you?
Oh, not by any means. In heels, yeah. But outside of that, yeah, when my first post ended the contract, I was without a main post for a while. So I just stopped kind of. Oh, okay. I thought okay, that's what you meant by homeless. I thought you meant like homeless. I was like, wow, dude,
Yeah,
that's a hell of a story.
yeah.
Then
We've had some, some
about the same height.
stories
McAllister, of course, you would know that.
of people really turning it around when they got here, and that it warms our heart to know that we can help you guys out.
One of our best officers a long time ago on the unarmed side was when she started. She was
Yeah,
homeless,
I
and
know exactly what
she
you're talking about.
started living with a minister or pastor at her church. He had an extra room that she rented out from him, and she didn't have a car. She rode the bus. She wound up being able to get a car. She wound up
Actually,
at her own place.
she
Yeah,
had 2 or 3 cars purchased for her by the client because they liked her so much.
yeah.
So, yeah, there's some pretty cool success stories out here. There's some not so good ones too, but those good ones always outweigh the bad in my eyes, and so
Yeah.
that's a big part of why we do what we do for a living. We always want to help people. That's why we're in this industry. So it's cool to see somebody come and say, "Hey, I'm really down on my luck. I'm in a really tight spot," and we're
Hold
able
on.
to
We're gonna do something while you're
give
doing
them the
that.
options.
We're gonna put a poll on.
That's right.
We've been wanting to do a poll. I'm gonna put one out there.
Love it.
Who's taller, me or Lieutenant Brown?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. Ooh. And I mean, not to say your age, but he's like 15 years younger than you.
Thanks. Hold
Maybe
on,
not
real
quite
quick.
that.
I'm gonna see if I can do this.
He's like 10 years younger than you. I call Lieutenant Brown my little son. I've nurtured him.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna put a poll out. Who's taller, me or Lieutenant Brown? And let's see what you guys think on that. That's a funny one.
I stole him from his first post. And this guy's got good work ethic. I'm keeping him around me for a while. So he's a cool success story.
Let's see. Jay says you're all SAF. Short as. Jay, you're 5'8".
Like the British Special Forces. What are you talking about?
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think McAllister has any.
He's 5'8". I'm pretty sure we're the same height, dude.
Maybe his cowlick gives him like an extra inch.
Let's see. People always look at what we do and weigh the good against the bad stories with the decisions and opinions. That's 99% of what happens with what we do for a living. Let's see. Diego says, I remember meeting Coop at my old post, and I honestly thought he would be taller. Everybody knows. Diego, your schedule has been zeroed out, and I'm banning you from my life. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's funny. I had a few people the first time I met him. I'd walk up and go, "Hey, I'm Lieutenant Coop," and they're like, "Really?" Like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, I thought you'd be taller, and I was like, me too when I was growing up, but this is what it is. So. I just one day my body woke up and was like, "Nah, you're done, dude.
Done growing.
This is all you get."
Well, it's funny because I've looked back on a few of these just because someone will say, "Hey, look how many views that one has."
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
I'll watch an episode, and I like my chair higher because I got longer legs, and he's got his chair shorter, so it looks even worse. Like I can see us on the camera there. I look like I'm a head above you, and it's really because we're sitting in our chairs.
Well, the reason I have it like this chair sits lower than like my regular chair.
All your gear over there.
Yeah, my regular chair out at my desk is a little higher than this. The reason this one's low is because I got a bunch of gear that's down on the right side here that I don't want to hit because our fearless leader was using our equipment one day to record one of his shows, and he came over and he hit a button and it blacked out the entire screen. So all the audio recorded, but like half the video was gone. And so to keep that from happening,
that's right.
This chair sits lower.
Yeah,
so that way we can roll around and not hit any of the gear here. Let's see. Brown asked me at least once a week when I'm moving back to the Ave. It's a good question. Let's see. I'd be bigger. I don't. Roadhouse quote. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. He says I thought I'd be bigger. He calling me fat?
He calling you skinny.
No.
He thought you were going to be fatter.
Oh, okay. He called me
or just big bone. Just big bone. What else is new?
Other than that,
pretty good weekend. The weather's nice today.
I say it's been a little chilly, but it hasn't been that bad.
The wind has finally died down. We have a big field next to everybody that works for us has seen our office and knows there's a huge field next to us that's like there's no windbreak whatsoever. So walking to and from, and this is really like first world problems. Is my walk from my car to my climate controlled office. It's unbearable every day. No, it is rough. That little walk there when it's cold. And so the reason I say that is I noticed how windy and cold it's been lately.
Coop, honest question. Do you swing your legs when you sit on a bar stool?
Oh, no. That's what my wife does.
I hate you, Diego.
The house before we had this is a funny story. Like the movie Elf with the shower. And like when he's showering, the shower head's like at his like chestal area, chest region. Our old house that we bought and now we rent out.
How is this 50-50, guys? What do you mean? Think it's a
50.
50-50 split right now. I'm taller than him, thank you.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you might be.
I know I am.
Well, we have to find out for sure.
Oh, we're going to.
Yeah.
And we'll update you
I'll have
guys
a
on some.
back to back, and we'll take a picture. I'll get like a measuring tape out and make sure, or no, level to see which end looks higher. Because I think it's gonna be close. I really do.
Let's see. Yeah, that's so cruel.
That's funny though. That's literally what my wife does when like we go
Yeah.
out to eat, or even at the house. Our kitchen table has higher, it's a little higher up.
Yeah.
So she wants to get a new one, of course. If she's tired of like the 3/4. Yeah.
I'm just waiting on that couch. You know, whatever.
He was upstairs running.
See, I already bought it.
That's true.
I already bought my
True.
own now. Let's see. Lavi says, forget the supervisor's heights. What do we get Roses to join us in the beard club?
I don't think he can grow a beard.
He can't grow a beard. What he has is what he got.
He's tried it. Actually, it's not. I mean, mine's
His
pretty
gets
spotty.
patchy,
I'm
though.
Irish, so it's pretty spotty. But he actually has grown it out a couple times.
You hermits need to go outside. It's amazing. Listen, McAllister. I'm not allowed to leave my desk.
Yeah. I wish. I mean, I already got to go back down and check and make sure nothing's on fire at the moment. So
Even so, Suzanne's like, I think Brown's taller. Listen, Suzanne.
I don't.
I think I'm taller. I really do. Let's see. I'm almost there to my first year. I'm excited. Good.
Congrats. We make it many, many more.
Yes, Diego. Yes. Here's your. See how many cross their legs when they're. How many people cross their legs when they're sitting?
Depends.
I was gonna say depends on where.
I do at home on my couch. I have
Yeah.
a little or whatever you call it. I
Ottoman.
put my feet on. Yeah, and I'm constantly. I'm right over left.
I
That
have
makes
a
a difference.
Mine has the like my couch reclines. Part of it does.
Yeah.
And so when I do that, we do the same thing right or left on that. But
Yeah, I'm a right over left crosser.
McFarland, you have the privilege of parking 40 feet from the door.
No, people take my parking spot all the time. It says we don't even have a captain parking spot, but all the lieutenant ones, there's like 3/4 of them are not lieutenants. So there's lieutenants, sergeants. I think are there corporals out there?
I mean,
I won't say anything to
pretty
the
sure
other people on the second floor of this building.
I'm pretty
but-
sure they do park in that spot. I know Patton does.
Yeah.
I hope you're in here, Patton, because I'm calling you out.
Hey, nice parking job, by the way. Patton's little red race car out there. His little
Okay,
red.
hold on, real quick. I'm starting to get angry
Are you
here.
starting to lose?
No, the
Oh.
same poll's the same. Let's see. We need proof. Well, I'll get you proof. Gary, you're going to get on my list too. Can Coop bungee jump off countertops? Listen here.
Oh, no.
Listen here, all of you.
That is good. Who's getting hate today? They are height
No.
shaming you. You bungee jump.
Oh my god.
The funny thing is, I can picture it like a little mini Coop.
Let's see. Gary says he just rolled off his couch laughing. All of you can rot. All of you. Let's see. Elves can't grow beards. That's true. Suzanne says her nephew is Irish and he grows a full beard. You have no excuse.
Well, that's just what I was told when I was younger. So whoever lied to me when I was young, that's on them.
I don't care if you work with Brown Moore. I'm supposed to be your favorite. You're supposed to agree with me.
Yes.
Suzanne, about to destroy a new guy. You be nice to the new hires. We'll destroy them tomorrow.
Don't be mean.
It's funny. I'm gonna park in McFarland. I'm gonna be right back. Gonna park in McFarland's spot.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead. We literally like all the way down by our maintenance man. It's always at the bottom.
Gary, if you don't stop, I'm gonna hurt you. Can you dangle your feet when you're sitting on a curb?
He's got some good short jokes.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
he's about to have
You
zero.
Just dangle your feet. That's funny.
All right, you guys keep picking on me. I'm gonna cut the live. No, I'm kidding. Gary, you're so mean. It's hilarious though. What do you mean Mini Coop? The life-size version. They call me the life-size version of a Mini Coop.
Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Shut up.
I can't believe we never thought of that before.
Captain McFarland is now the favorite. Suzanne, be very careful. Think about that.
He does dictate your schedule, so but I can still step in
Okay.
there and
All right. That's why am I getting the hate today? I don't understand that.
I don't really think about how short you are. It never really crosses my mind. I don't know. I just
So are you too tall?
no, like I don't just I mean
I got it over here. There's another one. I got another. I would make a short joke about Coop, but I feel it would go over his head.
oh.
That's an old one and a bad one, but
Almost not bad.
I know who you are, by the way. I know who
Is
you
that
are.
400 kittens?
No, it's not.
Oh. That's great.
Let's see. Thank you, Diego. That's why you pick on me. Diego says you're my favorite. That's why I pick on you.
That's true.
Yeah, I
That's
can't
true.
pick a
Usually the ones
favorite.
you like the most are the ones you're hardest on. At least that's what people tell me. They could be lying to me about that too. They just like being mean to me. Who knows? Who knows? I just go with the flow, roll with the punches. Maintenance van, there it is right there. It just looks nice out.
It does.
Looks really nice out.
Be careful. We keep doing that. McCallum's going to tell us to go back outside and call us hermits again.
Yeah. Well,
I know exactly who you are. He's like, you don't know who I am. I know exactly who you are. Being a smart ass, I know exactly who you are. But other than that, that's really all we kind of got. Since you guys keep deciding to make fun of me, I'm going to cut the live.
screw you guys. I'm gonna respect my folks. That's a great show. You guys should know what we're talking about.
If you don't know,
There are a lot of
then
office jokes about that.
oh god, we have
Big
so
Bone.
many.
Big Bone.
But other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah,
The weather.
Don't forget enrollment ends this week.
Yes.
So jump on that now. I know there's some packets about it or email links that have information. So, sorry. I'm just there's nobody at the helm down there, so the Titan plane is being flown without anybody running it at the moment. So it's making me nervous. If I seem a little distant, I just want to make sure.
Preoccupied?
So yeah, just thinking about coverage.
You
So
didn't call him in early? Well, you're nicer than I am.
well, a certain someone has a certain phone, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But other than that, I'm obviously control freak. So
Bobby, I'm okay with that.
not being in control makes me nervous.
You said it so professionally. Because I'm with McFarlane, I've never consciously thought about Coop's stature.
Lavi just has great delivery.
God, that's just see. If you tell me that, Lavi, if you told me that my stat, like if you were to say it like that, I don't think I'd be angry. But you guys keep making short jokes.
That meme he said, "Oh, captain, my captain." That one time I died laughing. It wasn't even about me. It was something else for somebody's promotion and or just giving somebody some credit. And so he's got great delivery and nice taste or good taste. Nice
Diego, I'd like to apologize for making fun of your height. The jokes were short lived.
No. Just keeps coming.
I hate all of you. I love you guys. You guys are great.
We're gonna be the weatherman.
Real quick, weather. Tuesday's going to be a little cold. Wednesday, Thursday, more than likely it's going to rain. Friday's going to be a little on the cloudy side, and Saturday is going to be cold again. So, for those of you that are outside, if you don't already have your jackets, please reach out so we can get those to you since it's looking like it's going to rain. And then that way you guys can have those and bundle up. If you don't have a jacket or if you're only going outside periodically, guys, an undershirt that's long sleeve, Under Armour, something like that is always good. It definitely helps.
Like I said, that I think it's Sam's Club or Costco. It's called like 32 degrees or 23 degrees or something. It's a heat thermal, and they're like I think $20 for a pack of 3.
I don't know.
And they're the nice long black ones, and I wear them. My wife's parents, my in-laws got it for me because they know that was back when I was on patrol. And hopping in and out of a car, you don't always want a jacket because it's just hot and cold, hot and cold. So thermals are nice because you can regulate a little bit better. So grab some thermals. They're comfy. You can wear them with all your gear, so you're not covering stuff up. But be patient with us on the jackets. And again, if you're outside and you don't have one, please let us know, and you will be bumped to the front of the line, just because of the mere importance of having one. So,
let's see. Yes, Devin, email me so we can get that stuff squared away for your vest.
So,
Lavi, to answer your question real quick, I'm going to cut him off because it's fun every now and then for me to be able to do it.
I'm the one that does it to you all the time, so I can't even say
nothing new as of right now for promotions or transfers. The ones that we have mentioned for Lieutenant Shaughnessy, the corporals for patrol and all those are all the latest ones, and then Captain McFarlane and then me moving to the scheduling manager. Yep. Those are all the latest ones that we have as of right now. Nothing else that we can. There are some more changes that are going to be coming.
I was going to say we do have
down the pipe,
some spots to fill. So please get in the CAP program and get endorsed by one of us. And lots of good candidates out there. So
gonna put a Titan podcast sticker on my car and start asking for ad revenue.
There you go.
That's one way to try. Let's see. Everyone start advertising the podcast. Yes, please. If you have anybody that likes to make fun of me or McFarlane at any time, you guys are welcome to let them know that we do this every Monday and Friday at roughly 2 p.m. so they can make fun of us on live in front of everybody else.
Yeah, they wasn't as hot with you today, so gave me a break.
And let's see. So, if you guys know anybody that doesn't watch podcasts that you think should, let them know. We're happy to have you guys share it and get the word out there. We're happy to get more of you watching so we can make fun of more of you and more of you can make fun of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to reach you guys with information and stuff, but the one thing we never really want to do is be those guys.
All right, I'm ending the poll. You guys are saying Brown's higher than I am. You can't do that's cheating. Yeah, look, I just did it.
The one thing we tried to not do is shove it down, or shove it in your face and say, "Hey, like and subscribe."
Yeah, the biggest
that's
thing
annoying to me.
The biggest thing that we kind of agreed on when we started this is that we weren't going to go every time there was a podcast. We were like, "Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe," and
all those normal podcasters. Probably why we're not very good. But
I mean, it's
if you want to hear, we want you here.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that they do that and everything like that. But that's not our type of content. We do ours mainly so on work, making fun of each other, making fun of you guys, and vice versa. So it's kind of not for everyone. It's kind of really kind of get the word out to you guys to make sure we have the good communication. So if you guys know anybody if you guys are talking to anybody else that's Titan employee and they're not watching the podcast, let them know. Let them know that we're kind of entertaining and it's fun, a good place to make fun of us and for us to make fun of you guys. And
it's all
we have a good
fun.
time.
Funny that everybody gets made fun of equally.
We do the reaction videos and stuff like that. So just make sure that everybody's kind of if you know anybody, let them know. But we appreciate it, guys. On that note, we are going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay bundled up, stay warm. And then if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't forget to hit us up. If you have any reaction videos you want us to watch, send them to me and I'll get those looked at and we'll get them on as soon as we can if it's one that we might be able to do. But we will see you guys next time on Friday. We wish you guys well. We want you guys to stay warm. And we will see you guys again. Make sure you're
washing your hands and staying clean, guys. A lot of people are getting sick, so it's that time of year. Make sure not just for COVID purposes, but just the flu does exist and the common cold still does exist. So make sure you're washing your hands and taking care of yourself.
Yeah. So we appreciate it, guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and we will see you guys on Friday.
Peace out.
Thanks.